What is up, guys? KFC back here with another war recap video. Gonna continue our rise up the war log here. This one, the one that we just finished yesterday, coming against, I believe, a clan that claims that they are out of the United Kingdom. Yes, indeed. This war was not fantastic. We did get the win, and it looks like a pretty decisive win, 53 to 43. They really struggled on a lot of our bases. You can see only 6 3-stars from them, but only 13 from us. And as we take a look on their side of the map here, they had a couple of Town Hall 10s at the top. I believe 3 was actually a Town Hall 9. Let me just go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Indeed, a Town Hall 9. So they were Town Hall 9 deep from 3 to 20. And as you see, we left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Town Hall 9's up, so just not a good war for us. Should have been one that we got all the way up to 59. So not sure what happened. Obviously a 99% there by Millsy. Pretty daggers. 89 by DK there. 62, not very good at all on base 11. Probably only had one attack. I don't see how many times we attacked base 11. We did indeed only get to hit it once. So I'm sure the story here is there are going to be some bases that just had 3 hits. You know, here you see 20 had 3 hits, 17 had 3 hits with a 99. 3 hits up here, got some bases cleaned up. But ultimately, in a smaller war, in a 20v20 war, you know, it's just possible that we just don't quite click at the beginning, and maybe in a 25v25 war, we've got a little bit more leeway. Let's see how we started. We started off actually pretty decent. Cavanoli starting us off. First 5 minutes with a triple, but then you can see here we had Sai go in and take a hit. But then a few more people kind of go in and just didn't quite get the job done. You know, never really got a whole lot of momentum going. So we did leave quite a bit of Town Hall 9s up, so not a war that we're super proud of. And if we go down here to base 17, I'm sure this, let's see if it was even max defense all the way down. At least it was a max defense base. So we can take a little bit of solace in that. They were max defense. It looks like pretty much all the way down. So that's at least a positive. So yeah, so we got to get better for sure. We can't be letting wars like this kind of slip away from us, because this would be an absolute blowout against a little bit of a tougher clan. Let's go ahead and look at some individual performances, kind of shift the tone more to a little bit more positive. Let's go ahead and watch Tread Easy's attack on 2, because I want to continue letting us watch as many Town Hall 10 triples as we have. I also burned Sai in the last work recap video because I was scared my internet was going to kind of bust out. So I definitely want to give him some respect with back-to-back 6-star wars here. So let's watch some of those replays. And then let's see, I covered Doc in the last video. Did anyone else have a 6-star war? Unfortunately not, so we're also going to go ahead and give Doc a back-to-back feature. Hitting high, bases 6 and 8, so we'll give those a watch as well. So instead of starting from the top, let's actually start from the bottom, just so I can make sure that Sai definitely gets in there, kind of no matter what. And go ahead and see what were the good things that were happening in this war. As you can see, this base just not very good. Sai going to bring a traditional shattered goho here. I usually use the term traditional when I'm talking about, you know, 2 golems, 30 hogs, 3 heals, and a jump. It's a pretty traditional composition. Has kind of a couple of easy double spots to worry about. Nothing really over in this direction, though, because this air sweeper being there means that there can't be a double there. There can't be a double there. So really, you're looking at kind of the left side of the map here as the spots that doubles could kind of possibly be. Maybe even some really poor ones on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how he takes this base out, kind of what angle he comes from. I think he might come from the north here. He's going to drop a giant. I assume this is to kind of grab a lure. Always think it's good to use a giant and 3 hogs. Instead of 4 hogs, if you know that they're going to get locked onto by a few pieces of point defense. So he does go ahead and grab the Lava Hound out of the CC, so can't double poison. Goes ahead and starts at this 2 o'clock angle, and what that 2 o'clock angle is going to allow him to do is he's going to be able to get the queen, but he'll also negate this spot here, whether it's his queen removing pathing. He's going to be able to get that down. So he's going to basically just have to focus on these couple of spots over here, and we'll see how Sai does it. So coming in with his approach, has his wizards down, his queen down nice and early. Wizards are going to help kind of get that lava hound down pretty quickly, so his queen won't be held up very long. Golems get out in front, so great job there. Jump spell goes down, going to connect him all the way to the queen. He's going to take out a few Tessels on entry, which is great. And so let's go ahead and see how he takes care of that 12 o'clock compartment there. He looks like he might just be using some suicidal hogs here. 10 hogs go down, 5 on the wizard tower, 5 on the archer tower. They're going to kind of easily take it out. Boom, 1 hog trips one of the bombs. And that is going to be it. So basically to use 10 hogs to kind of get that spot kind of taken care of. And then he's actually going to switch to now going to more of the bottom. So as you can see, he already dropped 3 or 4 hogs with a heal spell there. Only the Tesla and the leftover pieces of that archer tower were there. And then he's going to sprinkle hogs in on the bottom left, a little bit more on the bottom left because there's just more defenses down there that can be targeting his hogs. Another heal spell is going to go down right there, protect those hogs, and then the rest of his hogs go in. Well dropped on those hogs. Doesn't have as good of a clockwise kind of motion going to it. These hogs over here look like they're going to get picked off because they are no longer standing in a heal spell. So not the cleanest attack in the world, and I don't mean that in a rude way, just in a very matter-of-fact way. Those hogs did end up getting through this piece over here, and they are going to run over and take out that final cannon. So basically has 8 or so hogs up. Does have a pretty efficient cleanup process going with the wizards kind of going on down here. Does still have an archer in the bag, and he does have a poison in the bag and nothing kind of productive to use it on. So if this was a cleanup attack, I'm going to keep telling us to get better at it as I do these war recap videos. If it was a fresh hit, kind of is what it is. You don't know what's in the CC when you do a fresh hit. And given that he did grab the lure, probably a fresh hit there. So the hogs kind of working their way around. Going to take out the rest of this base. Doubles were pretty much where we thought they were. This one, obviously, a poor location next to an elixir storage. But the other one handled pretty well, I think, with the 10 hogs up top. I think that's a decent price to get a double spot taken out. I don't think that 10 hogs and a heal spell would have been. But I think 10 hogs was just the right number to make sure that at least one of those bombs got tripped. And that gave him kind of plenty of action there on the bottom to take out the rest of the base. So good job there by Sai. Let's go ahead and move on to your second attack on base 14. I should have just... I'm sorry, guys. I always do this. I definitely want to write down which ones are fresh and which ones are clean up. So indeed, the first attack that we just watched was a fresh hit. The second attack that we're going to watch is also a fresh hit. And then Doc taking out 6 and 8 were both cleanups, and then Tread Easy had a replay as well. So Sai with the fresh hits, Doc and Tread Easy with the cleanups. I'm looking for base 14, which is right here. So let's go ahead and look at this base from a fresh hit perspective. So completely just oddball comp, and oddball in a good way here. I guess it's not as oddball. It's one of those bases that has 4 air defenses kind of in the core. So correctly is bringing primarily a Goodfellas, and so something we haven't seen in quite some time. But as you can see by the spell composition, 1 heal, 1 rage, 1 jump. I assume all of that's going to be used on his kill squad to get in there, get those air defenses taken out. And then he's got double poison for either clan castle shenanigans or the enemy archer queen. And then finally 2 haste spells. So as I look... what entries I like when I'm looking for a Goodfellas target. I like the one that's going to get me to the core with the least possibility of having my Valkyries stray on me. And so since there's no defenses in this compartment, that makes your golem drop a little awkward. So I would probably, if it were me, I wouldn't want to go in on this big compartment here because the Valkyries would kind of run all kinds of different directions. So you can easily see dropping a jump spell here to connect to the core, which is great. But the Valkyries are going to take out that whole long compartment before they even take that jump. So I think he's probably going to come from down here. He doesn't even need any wall breakers, and indeed he does not have any in his composition. So just a simple jump spell right there will connect him to the core. That's the way that I assume he's going to take this base out. He does have 2 corner huts, and he has 1 archer, so he might use maybe a balloon or something. We'll see kind of how he takes out both of those corner huts. Let's go ahead and watch his attack. See if he starts from the angle that I think he's going to start from down here at 4 o'clock. Indeed, there goes the giant to grab the clan castle lure. He's going to take out that mortar, which is important as well, because that'll just kind of help his golem pathing. When he drops, he might drop a golem on that archer tower and a golem on that cannon now, and then he can drop a jump spell to connect everything he needs to. You can see that it's a very, very easy funnel creation process as well, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He's got the double poison for this CC, which was great for him. So go ahead and take that out, and then boom, there goes some of the funnel creation there with those minions. Uses a minion to take out that corner hut, and then that final 12 o'clock corner hut for the archer. So great job planning your corner huts. Wizards go down, waiting for that AQ. Probably a few seconds a little late there, but ultimately those golems are tanking. Jump spell goes down beautifully. King goes down, Valks, and here we can see the writing's basically on the wall. This base is toast already. This is a tremendous, tremendous army comp for a base that looks like this. There goes the rage spell, and then I assume we will see the heal spell right after. Boom, there it goes. And though that core should be absolutely obliterated here. Those Valks under rage, easily making quick work of it. Sprinkling in some hogs that are just tanking, so just a really good scout there to kind of get some efficiency on those hogs. Gets all the air defenses taken out, still has his 12 balloons in the bag, and I'm assuming we're going to see them start to come down now. Boom, there goes the haste spell to propel those loons into that cannon, and then the rest of the loons now are getting sprinkled around the outside. His kill squad is just now thinning out, which means that the balloons are now finally being targeted. Couple of black bombs go off there, so a little scary. But ultimately, it looks like he's going to take out this base really without much of an issue. Still has 2 loons in the bag. I would assume that those 2 loons are going to go down here on this wizard tower, because it'll take out that wizard tower and then jump over, grab that cannon, and then that Tesla should go down to that string of balloons there. He's actually going to change course a little bit. He's going to decide that once the loons start tanking to drop them on the Tesla. Also a fine idea. Only downside is that now there is a wizard tower over here that's going to be targeting all 4 loons. So if, hypothetically speaking, there was a red air bomb, like that one, that goes off, now he might be in a situation where since he dropped the 2 on the Tesla, he might not get this wizard tower, and he's just barely going to get it. But luckily for me, the point I think was proven. If you come with 2 loons on the wizard tower, you take out that wizard tower, 2 loons would be kind of hit 3 or 4 times by the wizard tower. The red air bomb would go off. Those would go down to lower health, and the other balloons kind of meeting from the other side would be in a better area. Luckily, got away with it, so not a big deal, but just thank you, Sai, for doing an attack that could help me as I watch it for the first time, prove or show something to the clan. So just a really, really nice plan there by Sai. Really, really nice couple of wars by Sai. So good job. Definitely like to give people the respect once they kind of start dialing up. I know I called Sai out in one of my war recap videos a few days ago, and he has really picked up his game, absolutely crushing things. So good job there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guy who needs no introduction. Doc, taking out base 8. He is really firmly on this shattered Goho approach. As you can see from my last war recap video, those archers have been dropped from his composition for another wizard, which I strongly support. Given that he hadn't seen my video yet, it's just a decision that he made on his own. So good job for him there, picking up on that. In terms of how to take this base out with a shattered approach, a couple of spots. Not really a couple of spots. There's obviously a really confusing spot right around here where there could be some action. Could be a poor double set kind of place in front of this expo. This is not even an area that I would be super concerned about. Maybe behind this archer tower. But ultimately, when you see a base like this that has no clear good double spots, a good approach is usually just to do some sort of a surgical kind of reinforcement around the outside. You can see that there'll probably be an entry somewhere along this line, kind of down here. Jump spell kind of maybe on this junction that'll open up the queen. It'll remove pathing to all this area, and then it'll allow him to get his queen in there. And if there's like some Teslas in behind, he'll get good value there. So pretty self-explanatory, I believe. Angle. We will see if Doc, he's actually going to do a little bit of a different angle than I personally would have. He's going to come at this base from a more kind of bottom-up approach. Going to kind of go from 6, but just as good of an angle, I think. You're going to still drop his jump spell in the same area, just in terms of where the wall breakers kind of went down, just a little bit of difference. Ooh, rough jump spell. I'm not sure if the troops are actually going to take that, so he actually might take this base out without the assistance of that jump spell. Poison goes down for the CC. Boom, the golem does in fact take the jump spell, so did just place it just good enough there for his king to run over, beat up that queen, and then he is going to start 10 or so hogs there at 9 o'clock. I know my clocks, and they are going to be doing a nice kind of clockwise motion. I'm not sure I like that heal spell placement. Let's just focus right there. There was only one piece of point defense, that cannon that was on that group of hogs. I'm pretty sure he could have backed that heal up to maybe this area. This is a cleanup attack, so he obviously knows where all the Teslas are. There might not be Teslas in this area, but that heal spell to me just seemed a little... Let's actually just go ahead and restart this attack and scroll back to 1 minute and 23 seconds when he dropped the heal spell. As you can see, my war recap videos are definitely a little bit more tutorials. And I think they'll stay that way just for now. So just spell goes down, like I said, just very, very dangerously placed, but ultimately is going to give him access to this compartment, which maybe he wanted access to. So let's go ahead and watch when this heal spell kind of goes down. So right here, as you notice, everything is kind of targeting on his king right now and his golems. So when this heal spell goes down, boom, there it goes. The only thing that is on this hogs is that cannon right there. And so I feel like he easily could have let maybe another hog or two die, and then he could have placed the heal spell closer to here, which would allow him to reinforce kind of on the cannon and the archer tower, and that would give him, if you have 2 heal spells left, you can kind of easily start picking out other spots for them. Boom right there, and then maybe boom down there. So just I feel like a little early on that heal spell there. The cannon is going to go down. The hogs are going to start healing back up. Take out that wizard tower. They're going to go over to the mortar. And so now you see he really can't drop another heal spell around here just because he's already burned one. So here comes some more hogs, and then he's going to ultimately kind of have heal spells generally in the area that I kind of pointed out earlier. Boom, there they go. He's got those kind of heal spells. They're not overlapping one another. So just very nice kind of meeting the hogs kind of in the middle. The one bad double spot down there was in fact there. And then wherever the other one was, he pathed around it. So just a really, really good job there. Up there goes one right there in the core. And gets pretty fortunate there that he doesn't lose a ton of hogs. One thing that I can say as we start to transition into this environment where we only get 3 minutes to do the attack again, would love to see a wizard down here. Did get a little bit fortunate that his hogs split the way that they did, because now the queen's going to come around. They got hogs at 12 and hogs at 9. But if all of these hogs kind of went up here to that 12 o'clock area, this area down here would have been neglected. So a wizard down there would certainly be preferable. But ultimately, really, really good attack. Pathed himself around that double right here initially by having that Tesla go down for the kill squad, and then they kind of easily pathed all the way around. So just a really, really nice technical attack. Good job. All right, let's watch Doc again take out base 6. Again, shattered Goho approach. He is bringing those 5 archers, but let's see, 1 sort of ish, 2, not really. So I think he probably could have gotten away with 1 archer, but it's just the little things. Let's go ahead and take a look at this base here and see spots that he might be interested in negating. Spot right here in between the Expo and the AD. And not a very good spot, but it's a spot nonetheless. And for those of you maybe from Rising watching that would say, well, why is this not a good spot? It's got really good pathing, kind of from the mortar to the archer tower to the AD to the Expo. Just keep in mind the way that hogs path, right? So if you drop a few hogs kind of surgically on these defenses, if you drop 3 hogs on that mortar, 3 hogs on that archer tower, they'll both end up going down around the same time, and the hogs that are on the archer tower will have no choice but to pass to the Expo, and that's going to trip one of the bombs that are there. So that would be a reason why that spot is no good. Let's go ahead and see how Doc heads and takes it out here. He is going to start kind of close to the queen, which is a good angle, I think. Did bring a jump spell, though he didn't need it if he didn't really want. He could have easily done a 4 heal spell approach, but I think that he actually wants to bring that jump spell so he can actually connect to that potential poor double spot. He is going to unfortunately have his king walk here, so going to be interesting to kind of see how he recovers from that mistake. His replay ends in 1 minute and 18 seconds, so he absolutely wrecks this base, despite the fact that his king walked. Gonna go ahead and start his hogs, even though that archer queen is not down yet. So just a real heads-up play, knowing that that archer queen is targeted onto his golem. So by the time that she's done with the golem, those hogs will be already working their way around the base, and then his archer queen will kind of step up and help take out that enemy archer queen. Boom, so there you go. There you see the golemites from the golem. Poison is going to go down on the queen, and as you see, those hogs are starting to move out of that archer queen's range, or just in terms of the troops that are closest to them. Poison spell goes down. Queen's continuing to follow the golemites, but boom, there you see his archer queen is going to eventually, after she takes out that dark elixir storage, boom, there goes the queen. Action going on up here. A couple of hogs fly to spring traps. And boom, there goes that poorly placed double that we talked about. He negates it with 2 hogs total that kind of came in there from the 3 o'clock compartment. The rest of the defense is easily going to go down. Looks like he either pathed around another double and or there was a single there. Has a much more efficient cleanup process on this one, but that is also just due to the king who went for a walk. So really, really good showing there of how to not lose your patience, not the right word, not lose your cool when something doesn't quite go right. Easily had his AQ that was in there. Swags his poison spell just like I taught him. Not that I taught him, but that all the cool kids swag their poison spell in the middle, and boom. Very, very good job there by Doc, taking that base out. And finally, going on up to base 2, Treadwell, taking it out. I believe this was a Town Hall 10. Let's go ahead and see that this wasn't a top 9. Oh, it actually was a Town Hall 9, so we unfortunately had to send Treadwell down to clean Town Hall 9. I'm not sure if it was a fresh hit or not. It was not quite a fresh hit. So obviously we want to avoid sending Tread down as often as possible. So tough war. We left 6 bases up and forced the Town Hall 10 to come down. But we did obviously get the win. It helps when we run into opponents that can't quite figure out our bases either. So always good when we can learn a lesson and also win a war at the same time. So I think that's going to conclude this war recap video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave me comments down in the comment section if you saw anything worth discussing in our chats. And catch you guys next time.